In today's video, I would like to concentrate on the role of vitamin D and its outcome on COVID-19. I personally have been ranting on this topic from April. Do click here to have some more in-depth information on vitamin D. However, I do not understand why health authorities the world over have been negligent in recognizing low vitamin D levels as an independent risk factor. I would like to point out to a recent study done in Israel which included 4.6 million people. I got links to the study in the description below. It showed direct correlation between low vitamin D levels and severity of the disease and mortality. I am not saying that vitamin D prevents COVID-19, but adequate levels of blood vitamin D levels reduce the severity of the symptoms and reduce death. I would like to quote another article from the Lancet. This article, by the way, is dated 20th May 2020. Links again in the description. A role of vitamin D in the response to COVID-19 infection could be twofold. First, vitamin D supports production of antimicrobial peptides in the respiratory epithelium, thus making infection with the virus and development of COVID-19 symptoms less likely. Second, vitamin D might help to reduce the inflammatory response to infections with SARS-CoV-2. Deregulation of this response, especially with the renin-angiotensin system, is characteristic of COVID-19 and degree of overactivation is associated with poorer prognosis. Vitamin D is known to interact with the protein in this pathway angiotensin converting enzyme 2, which is exploited by SARS-CoV-2 as a receptor. While SARS-CoV-2 downregulates expression of ACE2, vitamin D promotes expression of this gene. The main reasons for low serum vitamin D levels are as follows. Lack of sunlight exposure. Ideally, you should receive sunlight when it is over an angle of 45 degrees and not behind window panes. Obesity. Vitamin D is a fat-soluble vitamin and the subcutaneous fat holds on to it and does not allow it to be readily available. Older people synthesize vitamin D at a slower rate. The darker the skin, the more difficult it is for you to absorb UV rays to synthesize the vitamin D. I'm looping up these videos again, as in these videos I have gone in more detail over these reasons. We in India are just coming out of a very long monsoon. We haven't seen direct sunlight for quite a few days. Is it a huge surprise then that India is just going through a huge spike in COVID-19 cases? We are in fact leading the number of cases per day globally. I strongly suggest that you get your vitamin D levels checked and start supplementing as soon as possible. I cannot, due to ethical reasons, tell you the exact dosages to take, so please do contact your doctor. If you, like me, like scientific mumbo jumbo and would like to follow more details on this disease as it unfolds, I strongly suggest you follow Dr. John Campbell's channel. The link is in the description. I'm sure this video came across as a rant, but please take it as my earnest plea to get your vitamin D levels sorted. I hope this video provided you with some value, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Until then, signing out, Dr. Rohan Fonseca.